Okay, let me ask whether presentation is visible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Second question, should the interaction be purely in English or the mixed language, Hindi and English? What is your priority?
English, sir.
Your English?
Yes, sir. English.
Okay, no problem. So should I start or should I wait for a few more minutes to join others? Okay. So thank you very much. I hope you might be knowing about myself, but let me introduce myself itself. I am Professor Pradeep Kumar Misra, Professor in Chemical Engineering at the Indian Institute of Technology, Banaras Hindu University. And as I have been involved in last 20 years to initiate the business incubation, to work for the industry institute linkage, as well as to do n number of activities pertaining to skill development, technology transfer, etc. So this is one of my favorite topic, whom I do interact with society, the teachers, with the students. More than 30 years experience of teaching around, with nearly administrative experience at all level, being vice chancellors of 2 universities. So nearly 5 to 6 years of services left. So as per the national education policy, you guys are here to do a short-term course, and I've been given the opportunity to talk about the skill development, that particular section. So I've divided my presentation into two parts. One is basic of skill development and its implementation in higher education. And second one is futuristic skill development in higher education. So what I done, I have started from the second lecture. Then in the second part, after the break, we will discuss the basics. So let us try to understand what was the need of skill development in higher education, or what was the role of skill development in education in Indian context. So briefly glancing over the history of skill-based education. So let me refer one book written by Sri Dharmpal ji and known as Beautiful Tree. I hope some of you must have gone through that. If not, I'll briefly discuss the main points. What happened during British rules? In 18th century, approximately around 1740, 1750, the government decided to have a first-hand understanding of education system prevalent in India in that time. So all the British collectors in nearly all the presidency, such as Mumbai, Madras, Kolkata, have been given this responsibility to find out how many institutions are there, how many students are there, those students belong to which particular community, and what kind of education they are imparting in schools. So the result of the survey was that majority of the schools were patronized are run by societal patronage or by the local Nawab and rulers. And there were basically three kinds of schools. One, pertaining to education related to warfare. Second one, relevant to Vedic studies. And the third one, where majority of students were enrolled, was life skill based education. In context of Varanasi, the my city to which I belong, James Prinsep has done a detailed survey. And it was the result of those survey that nearly 65% students were enrolled into the skill-based educations. The concluding line of the beautiful tree written by Dharmpalji was that the Britishers were so inquisitive about the education system of India that they dug the soils beneath the root of the banyan tree, symbolic of our education system, in a such a way that the plant was dead. And in practical, what has happened? Britishers decided that this kind of education will not be allowed. And now, government will provide a uniform education to whole of the country. The survey also reveals that in only Madras Presidency, the number of students enrolled in these schools were more than the total students enrolled in whole of the Britain. So you can understand that in spite of hundreds of years of foreign rule, still the education system of India was far superior as compared to early years of after independence or till 20th century. The GDP of India was nearly 25% of the world's GDP. India, China combined GDP was more than 50% of the world's. And what happened when Britishers left? India was contributing only to 1.8%. So 25% to 1.8%, what happened? Something serious gone wrong. So when Britishers decided to run the school with the government aid, what happened? That there was not enough money to run so many numbers of schools to cater the need of whole of the Indian students. So, majority of students were denied the right of education, and which basically divided the society. So what happened? When these schools were closed or the mentoring was stopped forcefully, these schools have taken family route. The situation was earlier that one guru or the mentor or a group of gurus were teaching the students in a particular domain, Vedic studies, war studies, or skills education. With the advent of British system of education, few privileged ones got the admission to those schools, and all others who were getting education in ashram system were denied the right. So they have taken the family route. Their parents, their grandparents who have been educated in particular trade, they started teaching to their students, their sons, daughters. And I suppose this was the firmness of the caste system based on the trading they are doing in their own family. So you see, earlier we were exporting textiles, shipping and a number of things, resulting into the high GDP, and slowly our industry was killed. And we were supplying only the raw material. Finished product were manufactured mostly in Europe, and when they were coming back to India, having so much price that majority could not afford that. So now, after NEP 2020, what we intend to do? It says that NEP 2020 emphasizes the seamless integration of skill development programs. We are interested to produce such a graduates which are not only expert in their domain knowledge, but they should have expertise in practical area, that they do understand what kind of tool and techniques are to be handled when they are joining any job, or what kind of digital changes is taking place. So they should have first-hand experience. So the National Skill Qualification Framework, NSQF, with the support of National Skill Development Corporation, NSDC, what they had done, they designed the curricula wherein practical skills were incorporated into the domain knowledge, so that graduates were well equipped for the demand of the professional world. So literally we can say, we the guys mostly trained in 20th century, that there is a contemporary shift towards a more comprehensive educational model, which prioritize not only theoretical, but both theoretical as well as hand-on proficiency. But what was the situation till 20th century? Here I have written current status at higher education level, that is not current before NEP till and after independence. So the first point says that India was mostly adhering to Macaulay's principle of education, which preferred to produce clerks over skill development of a proficient man. Britishers were not at all interested to produce leaders in India. They were interested to produce such a generation which will be loyal to them. They will be, brown Gora Sahib, not white Gora Sahib. And they have created that. And the same system we were adopting, and majority of our graduates were not employable. Different people came, discussed about this, tried to improve upon that, given the opinion what should be done. But as per me, let me mention Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam's name. Kalam Sahib has given a vision that by 2020, India will become one of the most developed nations. And nowadays, in every city, there are programs, Viksit Bharat, Uttishth Bharat. And yesterday, myself also attended one of the program by the famous Guru Acharya Mithilesh Nandani Saranji, wherein Viksit Bharat शैक्षिक एवं सामाजिक निहितार्थ. What is the meaning of the developed India? In true sense of education, in true sense of society, when we will become Viksit Bharat, whether infrastructural changes will ensure that India will become one of the most developed nations, whether devastation of natural resources will intend to Indian development, because it is being said that as the country develops, per capita energy consumption goes up. Per capita energy consumption goes up means per capita pollution index will rise. So let us try to understand what exactly is the meaning of developed nation. If in a crude sense, we are talking about the development as America and Europe has already done, then Kalam Sahib said, let us try to understand what the American and European have done for their own country so that their country becomes one of the most powerful countries. Let us concentrate. And what exactly is happening in India? We are most negative persons. Our newspapers always report negative things. They talk about rape, they talk about dacoity, they talk about theft, they talk about bomb blast. And seldom we talk about a scientific development at the front page. So we should be innovative, we should be creative, we should be skilled, and we should certainly try to do our nation pride. And the self-confidence only comes through self-reliance. And that is why the government has started this kind of program, Make in India, Stand Up India kind of thing, manufacture in India. So we are slowly moving onto that path. After Kalam, I will refer one more person, Professor R.A. Maselkar, Dr. R.A. Maselkar. I am a chemical engineer. He is one of the best chemical engineers India has ever produced. First PhD student of Professor M.M. Sharma. Maselkar Sahib was scientific advisor to Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, and he was Director General CSIR. And still, he is a member of Board of Governors of number of great companies of India. So Maselkar Sahib has given the Punch Seal of New Millennium during the Pune Science Congress in 2001. What he said, that if you want to make India one of the developed nation as dreamed by Kalamji, we have to do these 5 points. We have heard about a number of Punch Seal. Jatak Katha mentions Punch Seal. Mahatma Buddha has given Punch Seal. Mahabir has given Punch Seal. Even India and China has signed a document known as Punch Seal between Chow and Lai and Nehru ji for India-China friendship, India-China bye-bye. But I'm not talking about all those Punch Seal. This is Punch Seal so as India can become one of the most developed nations. So the first point, third point, and fifth point, you see, all related to education. And rest you also can relate. First point is student-centric education. We have to overhaul the policy, the earlier policy of education, where students were not at the center of teaching and learning. we have to create a situation wherein students enjoy in learning. They should be given hands-on experiences. Their biological clock should be honored. We, the teachers, should certainly try to understand what exactly is the situation. Why students are not coming to the class. But they are eagerly going to the music concerned sports arena. So something is seriously wrong in the classrooms. So we have to design the classroom activity in such a way that they should involve themselves. So policies has to be changed. Educational administrator has to create that particular ambience. And we, the teachers, should come out with the innovative ways and innovative content. Second one is the woman-centered family. He said that India, being the country having population 140 crore, means 70 crores are female and 70 crores are male. Suppose males are given all the privileges. What will happen? One wheel of the chariot, assuming country has a chariot having two wheels, one male and another female, and the second one is not properly oiled and greased, and whoever is the prime minister, however strong the horse is, the chariot will not move forward. It will move in the circular motion, fulcrum being the weak or rotten wheel. And that has happened with India. We have not given enough opportunity to the girls. The girls being better managers than the males. It has been proved through ages in the families. Whatever little money father is bringing, mother is running the home beautifully into that. There are successful ladies like Kiran Shah Majmudar, and still we have not given them enough opportunity. So the opportunity has to be given to them. No should be marginalized. Nobody should be marginalized. Third is knowledge-centered society. This is the information era. There is no dearth of knowledge. Plenty of information is there. But processing information and converting into the knowledge. Any information which is relevant to the time and place is knowledge. So we, the teachers, we, the policy planners, we, the administrator, has to create a situation wherein teachers and scientists can create knowledge. More and more patent, more and more copyright, more and more high-class publication should come from India. And we are improving. In last 2-3 years, you see, situation has changed, are changing. Next one is the human-centered development. If everybody is educated, is getting education, and this is the digital era, people are apprehensive that a number of jobs will not be there, will be eliminated. So we have to make a policy wherein everybody who is educated, who knows something, having some skill, should be given opportunity to be party to the development. Either he should get the job, or he should be given opportunity to initiate his own business, startup, or any kind of entrepreneurship. And finally, he says innovation-centered India. Innovation is a buzzword. We Indians are, master in jugaad technology. But what innovation looks for? Original research, modification into that, thinking out of box, doing right thing at right time, putting right thing at right place. And what Masailkar sir says, that let us wait for that time when I go through the times of India, I should find the name, Fala and Fala professor of Fala University in India got the Nobel Prize of Physics, got the Nobel of Chemistry. So you can understand what kind of changes are needed in education system. I'll take a 1 minute break and I'm coming back. 1 minute. Sorry for disturbance. Okay. So, what exactly is needed? We have to align to the industrial demand, our education system. Specific to engineering, let us try to understand what kind of changes are taking place into the industry, and accordingly we modify our curricula. How can it be done? You talk about other branches of studies, law with judiciary, journalism with print and electronic media, so on and so forth. So end product where your students are going. They can tell us what kind of quality they are looking for into their prospective employees. So the industry academia collaboration and linkage is the first step towards implementation of NEP. When there will be strong academia industry linkage, there will be exchange programs. Personnel from industry can come and stay in the campus, teach the students what exactly is going through. Our teachers can go back to the industry, learn the trick. Students can also be given opportunity to work as an intern into the industry, and they can understand how the theory and practical is different, what needs to be added into their syllabus. So based upon that, the incorporation of internship and apprenticeship into the academic programs was the key strategy. And this started in the late 1990s, not today. As it was not mandatory, majority of the institutions have not done that, but AICT, DST, MSME, these kind of agencies were you're promoting to go for that. So if the students are given opportunity to do the internship and apprenticeship, these hands-on experiences enable students to apply their theoretical knowledge in real-world scenarios. And in turn, they develop practical skills and make themselves more competitive in the world market, job market. So these kind of practices prepare students, give them learning experiences, and also help us in modifying our curricula, as I already told. And these two combined together will foster a smoother transition from education to employment. The quality and the skills required in the workforce will be given by the academia because they do understand now. Let us try to understand what is the role of NSDC, National Skill Development Corporation. That is the crucial entity which is driving skill development in India. So basically NSDC fosters collaboration between industries and training organizations. They identify the key sectors for skill enhancement. They set the occupational standards. They promote partnership. So basically NSDC is narrowing the gap between industry demand and skill set of the students, workforce. Because today's students are tomorrow's workforce. So by this way, we are increasing employability of our students and we are contributing towards economic growth of the country because more and more skilled and competitive workforce are being created. There are databases, whatever efforts are being made, what is their impact? To understand the impact, the databases are required. So what is the national database? These are key for monitoring and evaluating skill development initiative. These are basically managed by SDAs and they store information related to training, certification and employment outcome. If somebody is having certain skill deficiency, we have taken him for a certain training. So what about the content of the training? After completion, whether he has been given the certification and what was the outcome? Whether deficiency has been fulfilled and he got the employment. All these has to be write down. There should be the databases. Because this helps in evaluation of the skill development programs, efforts. International collaborations are also needed because in today's world, that is a global village. A person being trained in Varanasi will work in somewhere, California, Berkeley, maybe. So what is the world standard? What are the best practices? This has to be benchmarked. And that can only be done through international collaboration. Because without understanding the global need, trend, you cannot benchmark. So these exchanges, countries adopt successful strategies, innovative models, effective policies to improve the quality of their skill development initiative. We learn from each other. So the result is more interconnected and adaptable global workforce, which can address common challenge, and we can prepare, individuals which will succeed in this competitive world. There are internationally oriented courses. As we are interested to make our students in the global workforce, they should be given exposure to the diverse perspective and culture. We have to go beyond the traditional boundaries. And these courses provide insight to global issues, international practices. They foster essential intercultural competencies and communication skills. In today's interconnected world, equipping students with these kind of preparations will make them excelling in global professional landscape. Now, let us try to understand what is entrepreneurial training. Only providing skill is not enough. If you want to make them workforce, normal workforce, yes, skilling can be done, reskilling, upskilling. But entrepreneurship is a somewhat bigger domain, wherein we are preparing a future leader of country. So entrepreneurial training basically cultivates innovation and risk-taking capabilities into the students, so that they can face the 21st century business challenge. This is not a traditional education. Here we instill a mindset that values creativity, adaptability. So what we are supposed to do, we should look around. It's not that only business incubator coordinator and professor in charge has this job to go for and look for those students who are interested in creating their own business. Let us try to understand which particular students is having this knack of entrepreneurship. And if they are having entrepreneurial characteristics, they should be given practical experiences, exposure to the real world scenario. So this is being said that every institution should have business incubator. So they should have some feasible idea. They should understand whether this idea can be converted to the product, can be validated into the market, and based upon that market, entrepreneurship or startup can be created. What are entrepreneurial characteristics which are required in a student to make them successful in the field of entrepreneurship or startup? The motivation, initiation, resource organization, risk taking, and innovation. Motivation cycle is the combination. What is this? Need, drive, and goal. If you want to understand motivation, you should understand what is need. Need is a state of disequilibrium. When we are at a state of equilibrium, we are satisfied. When we will be at a state of disequilibrium, we will be continuously looking for certain opportunity to come to the equilibrium. So goal, we have set up the goal. As soon as we set up the goal, we will become unstable because we have to reach there. And what is drive? The internal hypothetical energy which guides us towards reaching the goal. So needs, everybody to understand. There are basic need, physical need, but there are advanced or psychological need or acquired need. So I'm not discussing in detail about that, but two needs has to be discussed. One is need of power and second is the need of achievement. The person having higher degree of need of power, what they say, we are going to play the football, will certainly win because I can do anything, even break the legs of the goalie. But that is not good for the society. We never look that kind of person. We have to reduce the degree of need of power to become a successful citizen of the country. Second was the need of achievement. Means I do understand what exactly is my personality traits. I do understand what is my education and what should be my goal. Then I set up a goal and slowly raise my aspiration. So the degree of need of achievement has to be improved every day. So entrepreneurial person should have high motivation to do newer things. Second is the initiation. If you have finalized to do something, you are looking for the opportunity and you got the opportunity. Now you have to start. Otherwise, what will happen? There are a n number of persons throughout the world and everybody is trying to do something and you will fall behind. If you are interested to get pearl out of the sea, you have to jump into that. By merely standing at the sea bank and wishing for the pearl, that will not come to you. Third one is the resource organization. Whatever you do, You have to hire resources. Even for this class, we need internet, we need computer. We are sitting at different places, but we are interacting. Somebody has organized this class. So for entrepreneurial venture, you need a number of resources, human resources, financial resources. Then fourth one is the risk taking. You are starting a company. You have set up a goal, but you have never moved on that path, the newer path. So there may be risk. But what kind of risk? That should be well calculated. Assume that you are a pharmacy graduate and there is around 50 lakhs left by your father. What are the opportunity in front of you? Put it in a bank, fixed deposit, go for mutual fund, or open a medical store in such a locality where there are no medical stores, and your final wishes are that one day I will open a medical company, pharma company. So that kind of risk is to be taken. And if you are well prepared, there are minimal chances of failure. And finally, innovation. Innovation in the product, innovation in the process, innovation in the organization, innovation in the market segment. When Nirma powder was launched, people said that is the innovative product. What was the innovation? In those days, there was only one detergent known as Surf, having, expensive prices. So very few people can afford that. Others were using bar sabuns like Pama Bar, Sunlight. And the poor people were using mud of rivers to clean their clothes. So a businessman came to this and he understood that everybody wants to put on clean clothes. So he come up with a cheap detergent and he got the larger segment of the market. So that was a kind of innovative market. You might be knowing the difference between Japanese kind of organization and British kind of organization. So modification in the working environment is to be done to be suiting to the 21st century. A simple representation, what is the difference between job employment and the self-employment? Why we should motivate our students to become self-employable? Because they contribute more towards nation development. And if you are innovative, creative, you don't love somebody hammering on your head, then certainly self-employment is a better option. Only worry is to modify the cells. Again, the difference between job employment and self-employment. In job employment, we go for schooling, do the higher education, do the job in a company or government and retired. But in self-employment, there are 3 or 4 ways. First one, do schooling, go for higher education. There is a business incubator. You are determined, you started their startup and you have grown your startup, created another venture and will never retire. Second, after higher education, you are not confident, then you go for practical experience, do some management training and then start. Again, grow and create, branch out and never retire. And the third one, the fourth one is after doing job in a company or government, now you are confident that this kind of work I can do on my own. Then you created your own startup, grown it, created another. I will never retire. So what are the important skills in 21st century? You see, if you go through these two lectures, there will be three basic classes of skills. One is soft skill, which are known as 4 C's. Second one is digital skill, AI, ML, IoT. And the third is green skills. Because we are experiencing severe climate change, global warming, air, water pollution, soil pollution, noise pollution, whatnot. So these are three classes: soft skill, digital skill, and green skills. These are needed in today's world. So 21st century skills in a global scenario: critical thinking, creativity, communication, collaboration, 4C. These are key to 21st century skills, essential for any versatile workforce. Why? Because critical thinking enables problem solving aptitude, creativity fosters innovations, while effective communication and collaboration ensures the success of the team. So if you are having these 4 C's, you and your team will be successful. But also, you will be able to take decision under different situation. And these skills are very, very, very important for personal and professional development in today's world. So it is written sustainable practices. We have discussed the soft skill. Now the rest too. Sustainable practices and data management. This is key to 21st century. So what I'm intending to tell, that we guys are supposed to modify our behavior according to the NEP 2020. There are improvement being done in syllabus, but everybody cannot teach everything. But everybody has to make himself or herself competitive. He or she should certainly try to understand what are these. So 4 C's, yes, we should be equipped with that. Certain knowledge about the digital skills and sustainable practice should be there with us. But giving training to our students in these 3 is not domain to everybody. You are teaching chemical engineering, yes, you will be incorporating different skills pertaining to chemical engineering into your syllabus, your curriculum, and relevant material of sustainability, relevant material of digital innovations. But there should be additional arrangement of teachers having expertise in the digital sphere, in environmental sphere, and in personality sphere. So clean environment, renewable energy, data analytics, data, big data. If you are having data, you are millionaire. IoT, ML, AI, and finally green cities with world-class infrastructure. Mass influx is taking place. Villages are being empty every moment. Everybody is moving to the towns and cities. So footprint, economic footprint, will increase the carbon footprint. So we have to design world-class infrastructure, making more and more green cities. So what are the emerging trends in skill development? Again, whatever I said is written here. A, digital skill. B, green skills. C, soft skills. So digital skills are very important in the era of digital transformation. There are n number of opportunity in IT, cyber security, and data sciences. You need green skills to address the environmental challenges. There will be plenty of jobs in renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, and conservation of natural resources. You should certainly equip your students with the communication skill, with the teamwork capability, and with the adaptability. Because these 4 C's we have discussed earlier will certainly enhance their employability and help in career advancement. Let us try to understand it with few examples. If I'm talking about sustainability, currently what we say that industry should be zero discharge. But sorry. But what I say, what I propose, that every house, every home, every flat, every building, every organization, every commercial entity should be zero discharge. Because if you are emitting a single drop of water, wastewater, that is going to drain, to tribulate, to tributary, and finally to the major river like Ganges. And they will kill the aquatic species. And in turn, water will not be of use to you. So we are supposed to develop the technology where water from toilet can be recycled back to the tap. We have to develop the technology where garbage has to be treated and used as a manure in the garden, in the field. And the 4th figure, you see the bottom one in the center. A basin was fitted at the toilet seat so that water can be used twice. First for hand washing and second for flushing. So this kind of innovation has to be incorporated into the practice. We have to learn from natural phenomena. This I'm showing because long back in 2002, we designed a plant based on the inspiration from cow. You see the food in the mouth of the cow that is being chewed or shredded through the teeth. There will be enzymes that will do the hydrolysis, will go to the 3-chambered digester into the stomach, where mixing and digestion will be done. Gas will be produced, which will come through mouth, that is methane. And fertilizer in terms of dung will come from bottom, backside, and nutrient can also be obtained in terms of milk. So in 2002, we created this. One of my students, Gaurav Kedia, in my laboratory developed this organic waste to biogas product. That is not a big idea today, but 20 years back, this was the innovative things, and we have gone through, made this, made the containerized vessels, and was marketed by BioBox company, and this has been installed in number of metro stations for running their canteens. So you see, this is simply the mimicking of the cow. Crusher is mouth, gastrointestinal tract is buffer tank and pump. Then 3-chamber digester, this is tank 1, tank 2, tank 3, that is the main digester. We added solar and wind turbine even to run that. So biomanure produced was sent to the field, and the gas produced was used for lighting, heating, or power conversion, depending upon the capacity. Similarly, these kind of power generation or fertilizer production can be done more and more, because every cities are having STPs and they will be producing sewage sludge. So the sewage sludge combined with the food waste or slaughter waste will be digested. The digestate will be organic fertilizer, and the biogas having H2S and CO2 will first be enriched. That we are not interested in H2S and CO2. We'll remove that, and then it will be compressed and used as the bio-CNG. We also commissioned horse dung-based biogas plant as Rashtrapati Bhavan. And this is still used for making food in their canteen. One of our students, Gyanendra Pandey, first realized long back that this rice husk can be used for generation of power using gasification technology. So India is having 40 million metric ton rice husk, which is enough to light 145,000 villages. So Gyanendra, what he had done, the BTech student of IT BHU, the paddy goes to rice mill where rice husk is stored, which is sent to the husk power plant. It is being burnt, water is boiled, turbine is run, electricity is generated. And then this electricity goes to the houses, go to the field for irrigation, go to the mill for running the mill. And the rice husk as thus obtained was mixed into cement. They also had the carbon credit. You won't believe, another set of student, Tanmay Pandya, Abhishek Poddar and Nikhar Jain, they left their job, came back and started their journey from rice husk ash. And they prepared precipitated silica out of that ash. We know that, rice husk is having enough silica. These glass panels are basically made up of silica sand using high temperature, high pressure process. But using this ash, using benign conditions, precipitated silica was obtained, and these students won DST Lockheed Martin Award. So this is entrepreneurial tendency, entrepreneurial characteristics, and skill-based education, wherein you are giving opportunity to experiment, to learn, to do something which you want to do. Next set. One of our civil engineering graduate, Naveen Kumar of Haryana. He worked for a company in Gurgaon for a year, left the job, came back. He said, sir, we are wasting a lot of water in reverse osmosis. So we started working on that. So RO plus pressure retarded osmosis. We combined these two. The result was, earlier 150 liter water was purified using 600 liter raw water. But now we are using only 250 liter to produce 150. So 400 liter was saved, and pumping of 400 liters saved the electricity consumption. So if students are innovative, they can certainly do wonders. One of electrical engineering student has used Rita in Odisha, given job to a number of tribal women and prepared detergent out of that. Solar energy, we are talking renewable energy. Let me refer Deepak Gadia of Muni Seva Ashram, known as Solar Man of India. He has created the solar thermal kitchen in Tirupati Mandir and Sirdi Mandir, where 50,000 meals per day is being prepared. You see how much gas is being saved. Even Ladakh military canteen, this is used to cook the food of military personnel. Earlier, due to the bad kind of kitchen, lot many soldiers were dying due to the asthma. But now, their kitchen is such a beautiful, this is the impact of technology, skilling. So, what is swiftly changing? If you want to become successful, you have to address the challenges, you have to seize the opportunity. There will be economic, environmental, technological challenges, but these challenges will offer room to innovation and cross-cultural collaboration. So global perspective, adaptability, proactive problem solving, resilience, positive changes, all these are needed. Then only you will navigate through this landscape. This is the era of fourth industrial revolution. Now you are talking about 4IR. So there will be n number of technological disruptions. Era of AI, ML, IoT, blockchain, cryptocurrencies. They will impact the employment. Some of the jobs will be displaced because that will be completely automated. Others, there will be changes. But in tech-intensive fields, there will be more and more jobs. So what are the future-ready skills? Students which are studying in any kind of branches, be the science, be the engineering, be the medicine, be the arts, be the social science, he has to have some of the digital skills. So now, basic digital skills is not needed. That I can type, I can make PPTs. That is not enough. Students have to learn some of the coding and programming skills. They should be aware about the cyber security. Let them have the proficiency related to AI and data sciences. Then only they can analyze the big data. They can develop algorithm and applications. To foster, to promote creativity and innovations, every college and schools are provided with the design thinking laboratories because they have to solve problems in a complex environment. There is thrust on virtual and augmented reality. Before Corona, nobody was thinking that even teaching can be done. So we are doing it through very raw system, but now real kind of classroom situation can be created. So virtual classroom, simulations, hands-on training, healthcare, even this will be applied to number of industries. Healthcare simulations, engineering and architecture design, renewable energy and sustainable practices, lot many jobs. In agriculture, in resource management, in green technology. In the light of climate change, we have to switch from fossil to renewable sources. We have to conserve our ecosystem. So what are the soft skills which are very essential? Emotional intelligence, adaptability and continuous learning. These are future learning platforms. E-learning evolution, global collaboration, remote work. Let us go through a few of the examples. We are using our smartphone. And if we stop for a moment to an advertisement or we are trying to look towards some product, what happens? Time and again, we are being shown the same thing. So have you noticed how online stores suggest products similar to what we have browsed or bought before? So data science helps analyze your shopping history to predict and recommend items you might like. So what is the futuristic trend? If the students are interested to go to this kind of field, they should understand what is machine learning, what is AI, and what is predictive analytics. And these skills will certainly provide them a competitive edge. In the digital marketing, if you are interested to go to this particular kind of domain, you should be expert in voice search, augmented reality, virtual reality, cyber security. We do understand that as technology advances, skills in the areas like ethical hacking, blockchain security, and AI-driven security solution will be in demand. So there will be a number of opportunities. So being plain graduate will not help. We are storing more and more data and material into the cloud. So there is virtual storage space. We are talking about serverless computing. So this advanced cloud security and edge computing, serverless computing, these are the future technologies. Every day, thousands of apps are being made. So if somebody is interested to make his career or her career into this domain, he should certainly familiarize himself with the languages used in emerging technologies like Python, Rust, or JavaScript. Again, we are coming back to the soft skills. For making successful team project, you need emotional intelligence, creativity, critical thinking. We have already experienced how this Alexa Siri is working. Every day in the morning, Alexa, play n number of bhajan for me. You just see, by merely hearing her name, now that is playing in my home. Similarly, Siri, doing your management. So you see, it's already playing. Time for blockchain technology. Hey, Rasme, just a minute. Alexa, stop. Sorry. So you see how the technology is changing. By merely hearing her name, she started playing bhajan for me. Healthcare technology is the big field. Whatever the branch of study student is, let us him do something into this domain. Health informatics, telemedicine, digital health solutions. Because India being such a vast country will not have access to the good doctors in the villages and remote places. So running telemedicine clinic is a good option. So again, various green technology gadgets will come into the use. So policy will change accordingly. I'm not going to discuss that. One policy I would like to mention, National Skill Development Policy 2015. An initiative like Skilling India 2. These are instrumental in shaping education and vocational training. The 2015 policy provides a comprehensive framework to address the skill gap, emphasizing the importance of skill development across the sectors. And Skilling India 2 represents a continued commitment to refining and expanding skill development efforts. So together, these policies aim to align education with the industry needs. They foster innovation, enhance workforce employability, contributing to a robust and adaptable workforce for the contemporary job market. There are two kinds of problems in Indian education system. What is happening? A person who comes out of the portal of education institution is not employable because he do understand theory but doesn't have practical skills. And there are a number of people in India who are having practical skills but not the domain knowledge. So first set of the person, we are adding skill into the curriculum, and for the second domain, we should try to strengthen the community college. So these skilled persons will be given relevant education depending upon the nearby industries, and they will be made partner to the change, partner to the progress. And they will also be not underemployed. Their employability will certainly improve. And these community colleges basically become successful if they are in partnership with the industry. Because this is a symbiotic relationship. And it ultimately helps in sustainable development of local economics. Let us also discuss BVOC programs. There are n number of places where BVOC programs are being run. But I seldom find it useful. These programs were designed to add additional parameter to an employed graduate. The objective was that when you come out with the educational institute, you will be having practical experience, you will directly be of use to the industry. But what I see that majority of these VBO programs are being fed with the inferior quality of students, and very low kind of training is being given to them. And ultimately we are again producing unemployed trained persons. Only those BVO programs are somewhat successful which are running in collaboration with the industries. So these are required, and especially for those students which are not interested in higher education, so that they can come up as a skilled, semi-skilled workforce for your industry. So soft skill development is very much required. Time and again it is being discussed. Communication, teamwork, problem solving. These are very, very, very important for holistic personal and professional growth. Whatever technical abilities you are having, you will not be adaptable to a diverse working environment until unless you are having these kind of collaborative and communicating qualities. So, with technical competencies, you need soft skills. And this will ensure a versatile and well-rounded workforce which will be capable in thriving dynamic professional settings, contributing to the individual success and organizational achievement. So let us try to understand how we can make this immense population burden to human resource. And this is only through skill development. How to do this? There are three kinds of observation: subjective observation, objective observation, and scientific observation. And we are taking our decision based on subjective observation. We have been taught through generations that whatever you see, whatever you hear from your own ear, only you believe that. And we do not know that we are biased in our opinion. We only hear or we only see those things which are of our liking. So whatever decision we are taking, that is not good and we are failing. Objective observation is better than subjective because that is more democratic, but that is also not good because that can be swayed by the onion layer model. Creativity, problem solving, deep thinking. You peel the onion and finally there will be solid portion. So dissection, to go through the crux of the problem, that is needed. Second is the self-exploration. Students has to be given opportunity to explore themselves. Please tell them in the evening, please sit down calmly in a corner for 10 minutes. Try to understand what is right and what is wrong. What happened to the action taken by you during the days. If somebody is happy, means that kind of qualities is there into your personality. If somebody is sad, means you need attention to that person. You have to improve upon that. Next one is again motivation. 1 + 1 = 11. Think big. Make good team. You will certainly succeed. Modification of acquired need. We have already discussed that. Need of power has to be reduced. Need of achievement has to be increased every day. Need of approval, the degree of need of approval has to be minimized. Activation theory says that the man loves stimuli and variation in his environment. So we should try to give such kind of training experiences to our student. We should motivate them not to go for only pay and perks. Choose a job which is as per your personality. Then they should be trained as a democratic leader, wherein objective or the goal of the company is set by the team. Leader together with the team monitor that. And if the team is successful, credit goes to the team. If at all that is not successful, the onus is on the leader. So, this program says that there should be emphasis on practical skills. Immediate industry relevance kind of training has to be given. Our approach should go beyond theory. So application-oriented learning, individual gain, valuable insight, develop skills for immediate success, and we can ensure that well-prepared workforce is being created. These kind of trainings gives positive change, positive impact to the young minds, benefiting individual career, giving opportunity to students to be better prepared for the job market. Testimonials are required. You need stories. If you are providing this kind of skill-based education, you have to prepare testimonials. Because these success stories will be your advocate. These stories highlight the transformative impact. And if there is any shortcomings, they can be reviewed upon. Relevant changes can be made. There are enough challenges in implementation and adaptation of these programs. A number of hurdles, resource constraints. As I said, that 3 kinds of training is very much required to the students. Soft skills, digital skills, and green skills. Who will do that? Yes, certain extent, in-house capability can do that. Maybe management teacher can try to give soft skill training. Maybe environmental teacher can come to teach climate kind of training, green skills. And if the computer science is there, they can come for digital training. Otherwise, you have to arrange for those. But the most difficult one is continuously adopting and modifying curricula. So if you are very flexible, you are very adaptive, and your partners are also like that, then only in this dynamic needs a contemporary job market, you will be successful. Today's education system looks towards lifelong learning and adaptability. Even at the age of 60, I am approaching 60. I have to improve myself every day. Otherwise, nobody will think about me. So if you want to stay relevant, you have to adapt the changing trends. Thank you very much. So what I suppose, I've gone through first lecture and taken enough time, 1 hour 25 minutes. Few hands are raised, but what I suppose, let us discuss everything in the last. Otherwise, if there are few quick things, we can discuss and take the break around 20 minutes minimum, because I'm facing sore throat. Still, I'm trying to do the job. So Bandana Singh, are you asking any question? No. So should we go for break?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it is 5:30. We'll come back 5:50.
Yes, sir.
20
Okay.
minutes.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir.
चाय पिया जाए. Revishma ma'am, you want to conclude? हाँ शिवांगी बोलो
No sound is audible.
So most welcome once again. Whether the presentation is visible to all of you?
Good evening, sir. Yes, sir. It is.
Very good evening,
Yes, sir.
Oh, sir. Thank you.
sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes,
So we have gone through the futuristic skill development. And as you know, that the same person is discussing the second person or the first person. So there might be a number of commonality. So we'll quickly finish this session. And then if required, we'll discuss. So this is basics of skill development. What is skill? What are skill gaps? How skill mapping is done? What are the strategies to fulfill the skill gaps? And why skill development is needed in higher education? So all these I will discuss into, and what are the ways and means? How you establish business incubator? How do you create such kind of ecosystem at your own institute? And how you can become the part of that? So what I'll do, I'll take my own example, how I started doing all these things in late 90s or early 2000, and how the things have been developed in an institution. And today, when there is enough support from the government, from the ministries, from the educational institution administrations, so it is very easy. But in those days, when nobody was there to support, thinking and creating such kind of facility was a hurricane task. Still, we have done that. So we'll discuss all those things in this lecture. So you just see, this is the first slide. What are the important life skills which we have taken in the first lecture as a soft skills? That whatever the domain knowledge we need for a particular job, a particular career, these kind of life skills are very much essential for anybody who wants to be a successful person in the society, who wants to be party to the development. Your utility depends upon these skills. So all of us, being the teachers, we are the motivators, we are the personality shapers, we are guide to leaders of tomorrow. So we should have all these skills. Let us go quickly, one by one. First one is self-awareness, to understand yourself, who you are, why you came to this planet, how much time you are having, how to plan your journey. That is very important. All about yourself. then empathy. Whether you are sympathetic towards others in your understanding, in your behavior, whether you are having critical thinking ability. If you are not having these abilities of critical thinking, you cannot solve the problems. So you cannot become the leader. Creative thinking. Unless you are having creative thinking, you cannot do innovations. So thinking out of box, doing right thing at right time, putting right thing at right place. So all this is needed in our personality. With the change in circumstances, change in situation, can you take right kind of decision? You are having problem solving aptitude or not? Can you communicate effectively? This is a great task, great art, great skill. Because communication can break the barrier, can improve the interpersonal relationship. How to collaborate with others, how to become a good team members, how to become a leader, all depends upon your ability of interpersonal relationship. Are you burdened with the stress, or you can come out with the stress? I will narrate a story at the end, how to discard the stress, keep it away. And finally, working under emotional situation, coming out with the emotions. So all these are life skills which we should have. First, we have to modify our personality with inculcation of all these skills. And then we'll try to transmit it, transport it towards our students. Let us try to understand that sky is limit. I'll take one example. And I'm always taking example from my brother, neighborhood. This is one of the famous saloon of Varanasi, the saloon chain, Anokha hair cutting saloon. I'm following these two boys right from their childhood. One is Dinesh, another is Rambabu, cousins. In their childhood, they used to come to my home to give haircut to my father. Sitting on the chair in the veranda, he has been given haircut by these two kids. They were doing everything right from sweeping the floor. But every day, they used to talk to me, Bhaiya, one day we'll go to Mumbai and do serious training, advanced training of haircutting, and then we'll come back to Varanasi and open a chain, do a great kind of haircut. So if you decide, you are determined, you can do that, and you see the result. Now they are having more than 10 saloons in Varanasi, belonging to very poor family. Now, the Ram Babu, the younger one, is having a long queue, waiting queue, 1 month. The families from at least 10 to 12 districts around the Varanasi are rushing to their saloons Saturdays and Sundays to getting haircut. Why I am telling all this? Whatever the domain we are involved with, whatever the area of our studies are, if we sincerely and with dedication do our job, we can prove the world that we are the best. This is one example I wanted to narrate. So a skill in any field. So first thing, what is skill gap analysis? How to understand what kind of skills are needed. So any industry needs certain skills, means technical skills, because soft skills, digital skills, out of digital skills, some might be needed. But the domain knowledge, domain skills are defined. And there are n number of workers. Every personality can be analyzed what kind of skill he is having. So depending upon the skill set of the organization, time to time, organization do this kind of assessments. So through this analysis, we do understand what kind of skills are there with our employees, what are the areas where there is need of improvement, and what are the new skills they need to learn. And similar practices we are supposed to do in our educational institutions. With experienced employees, the teachers should convey our juniors what kind of training should be given to our students. And this can be achieved through continuous interaction with the industry. And depending upon that, we will formulate our training programs, our educational programs. So a competency of a man can be defined. The skill is having soft skill as well as hard skills. Hard skill means maybe digital skills, maybe tool handling, domain knowledge, and ability, that is the attribute of the personality. Or sometimes skills are hard skills, knowledge is the domain knowledge, and ability is nothing but the soft skills. The way he behaves, the way he communicates, the way he collaborates. So, skill gap analysis are done through, first step is identify the current skills, then identify what will be the future skills associated with that particular domain, with that particular company, and what are the critical skills for a particular case. What skills are most valued by our company? What skills do employees need to do their job effectively and efficiently? What skills are currently on the rise in the industry? For the sake, you can say this is the I4, so digital skills are on the rise. Which position could end up being automated? So simple operator post will be automated quickly within no time. We don't need operators now. Robots are doing all these things. Machines itself, machine to machine information system is already in place. So are there any new technology in the market that the workforce needs to be skilled in? Based upon these three, you will create a skill gap analysis plan. And then after identifying the skills where training is required, you organize appropriate training program. So now, let us quickly go through what are the new generation skills. What do you mean by new generation? Whether old generation was not needing all these kind of skills? Yes, because that time there was no such competition that every day somebody is burnout. Anybody having some domain knowledge, some degree, through some competition or through interview, got the job and spent his whole lifetime without any competition. If I discuss about myself, I thought that I am a very good teacher. After 4 years, when I came back to my own institution after serving as a vice chancellor at 2 places, what I find that now the teaching is more and more difficult. Students are more demanding. What is happening that I am a chemical engineer, so chemical engineering is being taught in all the IITs and NITs. There are teachers who are teaching this subject beautifully. They are matter related to your subject in open resources in Google. There are NEPTL courses, Gyan. So, to make yourself relevant, you have to work hard now. You have to create a system wherein you can attract the students. Otherwise, why the student will come to your class? Literally, I have taken one more full month or 2 months to come to the understanding that this is not the way. Every day you have to do innovation in your teaching. So new generation skills are critical thinking and problem solving, collaboration, agility and adaptability, initiative and entrepreneurialism, effective oral and written communications, accessing and analyzing information, discussing during Panchasheel, I told na, this is the information era and there are n number of information on Google. But accessing the right information and analyzing it to converting to knowledge is, hurricane task. Curiosity and imagination, technological skills and tool handling. Every day there is swift change in the technology. You remember those days when teachers were coming with the, brown papers, very brittle, which can, broken down to pieces. Can you imagine of teaching in that way today? So, what I say that even if you are on the right track, you will get run over if you are just sit there. You have to train yourself. You have to compete with others. You have heard about the race between rabbit and tortoise. So the first race, rabbit lost, having overconfidence, slept on the way. So tortoise, though moving slowly, slow and steady, won the race because he never stayed back. So what happened next day? Rabbit was very angry, annoyed. He said, no, we'll again go for the race. So what happened next day? Now, rabbit was cautious, careful, confident. He won the race very naturally because he was running fast as compared to rabbit. But third day, rabbit again came. Tortoise came to rabbit and say, we'll go for third time, best of 3. And what happened? Tortoise designed the path. 500 on the land, then the river, then 500 on the land. Land mass, water body, and then land mass. So when the race started, rabbit swiftly moved, but stopped at the river bank because he cannot swim. Tortoise slowly came to the river bank, swam along the river, moved to another end and won the race. So what is the moral of story? You have to learn different kind of tricks. And second, then tortoise sat with the rabbit and told him that, look, this is the era of teamwork. This is the era of cooperative competence. each one of us cannot do everything. We have to collaborate. If I write beautifully, you can speak beautifully. Make a team. Don't make a team with the similar trait persons. So they decided that next time in the race, on the land, rabbit will put tortoise on its back, and in the water, tortoise will put rabbit on its back. So you see, then finally they will both win. So this is the era of cooperative competence. You have to make the team, to make the thing successful, to get the objective of teaching, learning, because you have to improve the environment of learning. So what are the importance of skill development? We do understand, but as this is the basic, this is my job to write everything. That is, the skill development process helps student think beyond grades. It helps them tap into their capabilities, develop real life skills, and prepare themselves to be successful in the career of their choice. These trainings improve employability, to earn more, and in turn will improve the economics of the country. Students learn problem solving strategies and effective communication technique based on skill-based learning experiences. These skill development processes promote the leadership skills. They can organize, they can inspire their team. It also helps in developing creativity, critical thinking, and analytical thinking into the students. Why it is needed in higher education system? Reason we have already discussed, that there is a large chunk of unemployed population consisting of highly educated youth who fail to find employment because of lack of skills. And there are a number of skilled persons who are lacking eligibility because they don't have knowledge, they don't have degree. So somewhere we have to create a system to complement both. One, including skill-based training into the education system, and second, giving theoretical knowledge to a skilled individual through community colleges. So that is why the concept of vocational training came into the picture. So today what will happen, that the students, whether he is science, arts, commerce, medicine, engineering, he can learn other life supporting skills such as digital, such as green skills. So what are the skill development strategies? First point is, you should be aware about your goals. क्या करना है? Then you have to analyze the current skills of the group you are catering. Then based upon the skill set they require after graduation, you will be doing skill gap analysis. As you are doing it first time, second time, you will certainly contact experts and collect their feedback. Look for the resources. Who can train them? Then establish a learning culture in your college. There are two kinds of training. One is upskilling, another is reskilling. I suppose we have discussed about upskilling. What is this? I know this, I am having these skills, but they can still be improved upon. And reskilling means I need skill in another dimension. I am not digitally skilled. And this is industrial 4. So survive in this market, I have to be reskilled. Otherwise, somebody else will replace me. Then you evaluate the effectiveness of the training. And if the trainings are not effective, there is some flaw into that, you improve upon the training experience. These are the skill development strategies. So people are very worried how to do that. This cannot be done overnight. Perseverance is needed for adoption of this great change in the educational system. So the great works are performed not by strength, but by perseverance. Rasari yavat jatate silpar parat nishan. There is a story that there were two frogs, one big fat one, another small one, thin one. They were roaming around and suddenly went to a milk factory. The factory was closed due to the Sundays. And there was a milk in a big pot. In a inquisitiveness, they peeped through it and fell down into the milk pot. So what they had done, they tried to come out, but they again slipped and fell back. They started paddling, crazy. But there was no way. So big fat one said that ultimately we have to die. So please, why we are spending so much effort? Why we are trying so much? The younger one says, till the last breath we should fight to come out. First one left paddling, left swimming, died, sank down. But the second one kept on. And suddenly what happened? A thick surface came beneath him. And using Newton's third law of motion, action is equal to reaction, he jumped out. So I generally ask, what happened? Some of you say that dead frog came on the surface, but that is not the situation. He swam so much, he paddled so much that milk converted to the butter. So if you keep on trying, you can improve upon yourself. So what about the vision for National Skill Development Initiative in India? Again, you see, we have referred this Skill Development and Entrepreneurship 2015 policy. And that was sheer luck. I was the member of governing body of the NISB at that time. In 2014, I have been made member to the governing board of NISB in the Entrepreneurship and Skill Development Ministry. Earlier it was in MSME, and when Prime Minister Modi created another ministry, so it was part of that. In those days, only 3.1 million people were skilled. So the scale was to go to 15 million and further to 500 million by 2022. You see that everybody has to be skilled. That was the vision. It was high inclusivity. There was high inclusivity into that. There should not be demarcation between male and female. No divide in rural and urban. No difference in organized and unorganized sector. That everybody has to be given opportunity to reskill and upskill himself or herself. Policy was for a dynamic and demand-based system planning. We have to train the workforce in such a way that they adjust to the changing demand, to the workplace and the technology. Outcome of any training should be as per the user's choice. So there will be competition among the training providers. And NSDC is doing that work. Also evaluating the performance of the trainers. There should be policy, coordination and coherence between ministries, between state and central, between industry and the training institutions and other stakeholders. So these are three international bodies who are working to ensure better skills incorporation, standard skill incorporation as per the global demand. So International Skill Development Council, what does it does? Smart education, smart research, smart skills, smart people, smart innovations. What are smart? Which is needed as per the time and space. The second agency is Global Skill Development Council. It does certification and provide ISO 6 Sigma, etc. And finally, NSDC International. There should be global recruitment. So, NSDC is coordinating with NSDC International to place our trained people to other places in the world. Let us see quickly the ecosystem in India, our skill-based policy making and training. Central government, as I told, in 2014 created a new ministry of skill development and entrepreneurship. And what they are doing, they are creating national policy and doing coordinating effort. Then there is NSDA, NSDC and DGT, National Skill Development Agency, National Skill Development Corporation, Director General of Training. They do have different work like quality assurance, industry linkage, vocational training, then sector skill councils. Similarly, in state, there are ministries for policy and resources. And all these make the policies, do the coordination, and the private sectors, with the help of private sector, these are executed. So, in today's world, where we are talking of fourth industrial revolution, what are India's 5 priority pillars? First one is the robust infrastructure. If we have to deliver new business models, we need energy, we need infrastructure, we need internet, we need financing, we need means single window system with world-class infra. There should be access to the capital for all the startup and SMEs. We have to provide there and there. We need more and more intellectual property. We should not buy the technology. Let us create the technology. Our own patent should be world standard. And then fourth, the skill training. We need lot many skilled workforce. So we have to skill the workforce in the emerging technology. And we, the teachers, are needed in last 3. We can create intellectual property, we can be part of skill training, and we can only strengthen the research. When I'll do original research, fundamental research, I can promote innovation. So we do understand what is Industry 4. Data, IoT, additive manufacturing, cloud computing, augmented reality, robotics, machine-to-machine information transmission. You can take the case study of an automobile plant. Example is, what are the technology, what is the example, and what is the benefit? If there is no cobots, my annual production is 507 units per person. But with the help of collaborative robots, for material handling, welding, deburring, bolt tightening, sealant application, machine tending, per unit, per person production will go up from 507 to 804. More than 60% improvement. With the security, added security to the person involved. Then 3D printing, that is additive manufacturing. What was happening earlier? Designers were making design, then clay models were made, then casting was done, then that was tried, then that was validated whether it will be useful or not. But with the advent of 3D printing, within no moment, you can test your design. So there is a lot of reduction in time to the market, from idea to the market. Then connectivity. Application of AI, machine learning, IoT into the driving experiences. Driverless car with lot many automation. So you are getting highly personalized, smart and safer driving experiences. So this is the impact of technology. So now what will happen? This is just a case study to make you understand what are the uses of the new skills. New technologies, what are the jobs will be treated? What will be the new job roles? And what are the skills required for the new jobs? As per this, automobile engineers have to change their strategy. So, new technology are IoT, big data, cloud, robotics, automation, 3D printing. Jobs which are threatened are welding technicians, printing technicians, inspection assistant, implant material handlers. So a simple operator kind of job. New job roles will be with the technical abilities of digital technical abilities, 3D printing technicians, vehicle cyber security experts, automobile analytics, sustainability integration experts. And the skills will be improved cognitive abilities, improved process skills, system thinking, IT and hardware skills. And so now, the name of the jobs will be changing like this. So by assessing new demand, training can be formulated and organized. So the role of industry, sector skill councils, educational system, workforce, outside workforce will go to the training institution. Training will be provided. They will be assessed and certified based upon kind of training certificate they are obtaining. Some will be placed, some will be move upward into their career, and some will start their own startup. Again, coming back to fourth industrial revolution, do two terms, reskilling and upskilling. What is to be done in government, what is to be done in the industry, and what is to be done in academia. So Indian government have come out with these programs. Make in India, PPP model, Skill India. They have improved infrastructure. They have improved upon policies. Technical and vocational education training quality has been improved over time. Industries are also geared up. They are doing reskilling. They are providing training for leadership for improving upon infrastructure, etc. And what academia is doing? They are updating their course content. They are adding skill development into their program. More and more emphasis on research and innovation and industry linkage. That is the need of the hour. So TBET is in danger. the technology and vocational education training is in danger if that is not adopting ICT. Our classroom has to be transformed into high-tech learning space. We are still far behind. We have already discussed in first lecture that augmented reality and virtual reality have taken over. I've seen that even in primary school, nursery schools, they are using this kind of gadget to give them experience of, swinging or anything like that. And for higher education, if somebody is going to mining area, is trying to become a mining engineer, so virtually all the training can be provided. How to operate the big giant machines. What are the possible accidents in the mines? They can be, experienced through these virtual gadgets. So now we are moving towards automated training, assessment and certification complete. So how we will survive, that is a question. Continuously updating ourselves. Because machines cannot replace human beings, whatever the case may be. But we have to make ourselves relevant, to update ourselves according to the change in technology. The next is skill mapping, skill gap and skill mapping. They are very, very similar, you can say. You have to map in a group which one implies having this particular skill, how much, what are the other implies who are having this skill, in what extent. So you see, this is a map. There are team member A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. And the skill sets required are project management, writing, public speaking, project development, accounting, recruitment, counseling. They have done the scaling, no competency, low competency, some competency, high competency, and expert. So if you do the mapping, what is the benefit? You find out the trainers among your worker. The person who is expert can train others into that domain. So through this skill maps, you can find out skill deficiencies and can plan the training using your own resource persons. Even in a classroom scenario, I do this because if you are teaching a class of 170, you cannot evaluate each one and improve upon each one. So a group of students out of those who are having better competency in relevant matter can become co-tutor. So what are the benefits of skill mapping? You can visualize the organizational need. You can distinguish between generalist and specialist employee. You can improve upon how individual employee can improve. I'm talking in terms of industry. You can understand this in terms of your classroom. So identify gap within an organization. आप classroom में आपको देखना होगा because the group is not the same. So you have to monitor the progress using your own resources. Now there are skill matrix, competency matrix, and capability matrix. So what is capability matrix? Is nothing but the performance expectation in each role. Competency matrix, which is nothing but the skill matrix. We have already seen that hard and soft skill, and domain knowledge. This is very important, horizontal and vertical mapping. The horizontal development means upskilling or not upskilling. Horizontal development is knowledge, domain expertise, and vertical development is soft skill. Addition to that, first one is the domain or hard skill, second one is the soft skill. Means if you compare with the computer, computer is having a hard disk and processor speed. So hard disk is horizontal development and processor speed is vertical development. So if you want to make a supercomputer, you need more and more space with more and more speed. This is just a learning. In difficult moments, behave like a duck. Keep calm and unruffled under the surface, but keep paddling away like crazy underneath. What exactly is happening when we are getting some problem? We are running from pillar to post and telling everybody that I'm not okay, I'm bad. And what is the result? Nobody is there to help you. Mostly they are laughing at you, and some of them can harm you. So don't behave like a pigeon, behave like a duck. That's just a learning. So same thing, computer-based analogy, we already discussed. So basically, soft skills are very much needed for vertical development. Because vertical development relates to how we interact with different level of authority. So this technique helps you to develop personal skills. So you can thrive or prove yourself in constantly evolving environment. Two more learnings, then I'll give some example and then we'll discuss. How to come out with the stress. That is the first example. Sake of your problems. Donkey in the well. You might have heard about this. Very, very famous and normal story. But I keep on repeating all this. There was an old donkey with a washerman. One day washerman decides that he has done enough for me. Now it's time to free him. Let him enjoy his remaining life. So he was enjoying, and one day he fell into the well, a dry well. The news reached to the washerman. He came rushing there, tried to help him to bring him out, but they failed. And it was decided that let us bury him in the well. Using equipments, they thrown the mud soil on the back of the donkey. What he had done? He has shaken off those soil and then jumped over it. So in the process, they kept on pouring soil. The well was filled with that, and donkey came out with help of this process. And then he grazed in the greener pastures. So, if you shake off your problems, step out of those stresses, you will certainly succeed. If your approach is like elephant, the second story, a small elephant was tied down by big rope, hard rope. But that young elephant calf broken that. Then Mahavat, the owner, tied with the elephant with a bigger, harder, stronger rope. It was not broken. But what happened? The creature assumed that now he cannot break that. Even after becoming Gajaraj, the big elephant was simply staying with that, assuming that he cannot solve. And we also do like that, also behave like that. So what I suggest, don't behave like this elephant, but behave like that donkey which come out with the stresses. Country is also making National Skill Index, National Development Priority Index. Depending upon the population, the education, the industry, the infrastructure, these indexes are being given. Every cluster is given some kind of index. So if some cluster is having high national priority index, a lot of things has to be done. We have to synchronize our curriculum with the end point user, that is industry or organization. For engineering, ICICI are doing that. And somewhere these efforts are very successful, but all of us to do that. The concept of Industry 4 has to be embedded. Then only our curriculum will be worth going through. Otherwise, what is happening? Majority of students are doing nothing, simply playing with data. They are learning those. They are not interested whatever you are teaching in the classroom. So you are teaching pollution, water pollution. So what we do, we taste each samples. But we are having data of particular set of industry, FOFA industry, by merely looking at the color. These ICT tools, this simulations and modeling can predict what will be the pH, what will be TSS, what will be the TDS. So why not to do that? Why not to learn that trick? We have to also see how the job market is changing. What are the key skills in this digital age? Ethics, responsibility, teamwork, strategy, knowledge, critical thinking, data analytics, social media, communication skills. Upskilling. Is continuously has to be done. Because you have to fulfill the gap. There will be challenges, whatever you do. You will only successful with your attitude to the hurdle, your planning and your strategy. You see, there are n number of German Shepherd, Tata, Birla, Dalmia, Ambani, Adani, with the confidence that this is me. And there is sky and there is earth for me also. So we need this kind of, confidence. And then we will become the part of the change. And we will enjoy the change. So this is my example, how I started this. Upgrading entrepreneurship, startups, and incubation lab. In every institution, that is needed. So this is my entrepreneurial journey when it all started. In year 2000, I started Industry Institute Partnership Cell. I joined the teaching in 1997. So you see, if you go through my curriculum vitae, what you will find that till 2010, I was simply involved in creation of different units into the institution. Generally, this is not done by the fresh teachers. But I was doing that. Because what I thought, country is moving in that direction. So industry linkage was improved through this IIP cell. Understanding the importance of entrepreneurship development with the help of Entrepreneurship Development Institution of India, Ahmedabad, we partnered with that and started open learning program in entrepreneurship. between 2006 and 2009. Then with support of AICT, initiated Entrepreneurship Management Development Cell in 2005 to foster lab to land and land to lab interaction, created forum for people's knowledge. First entrepreneurship festival in the name of Opulence was initiated in 2004. The year I have been promoted to the post of reader, you can say. I started doing a number of workshops with industry and experts 2004 onward. Started Techno-Entrepreneurial Promotional Program Outreach Center in 2006 to support the grassroots innovator. Went ahead that in addition to our student, we have to cater the common people. Then in 2008, started incubator at IIT BHU in the name of Malaviya Center, which is now renamed. There are now 2-3 incubators in different names. But when Malaviya Center was started, it was the first incubator for whole of the BHU and IIT BHU. Then Technology Commercialization and Facilitation Agency was created in 2009 to facilitate the technology transfer. So you see, after establishment of Malaviya Center in 2008 up to 2020, before leaving for outside assignment as the Vice Chancellor, these changes has been done through various agencies, industry, government, societies came together to train our students. We supported fascinating young people and they are doing wonders. Some of the examples I have already discussed in the first lecture. The first photograph at the left side top, the Ramkesh and Sagar, one belonging to Bengal, another to Madhya Pradesh. They were secondary teacher somewhere in Rajasthan. They didn't like their job, they left that, started traveling to India on a motorbike. They met to me, stayed back in IIT BHU for 4 years. And they are now doing wonders in, Siddhi and Sadol district and MP. So there are a number of examples where people have been benefited through skill imparting, through incubation, through entrepreneurship. So this is beyond doubt that traditional teaching is far inferior as compared to these kind of teaching. We have even gone to Supreme Court with affidavit against the pornography because the technical team of the government said that this cannot be banned. But we say we represented that we can do this. We won the case, but still we cannot solve the problem. So this is the journey. We should be continuous. Training of the teachers, training of the trainers. Now finally, what after 5 years, when I'll retire? And this is for you even. Under the concept of Mera Gaon, Mera Tirth, I started first entrepreneurship ashram at my own village. So putting my Provident Fund money, 2-floor small building I created in 1 big of land where hundreds of students are getting remedial teaching and their mothers are getting employment through this fancy basket making and earning around 200 per day. So this is nothing but a kind of skill training. One more big ashram we are coming up with in Chunar area of Mirzapur district, where we are interested to create, organic farming, tribal school, kind of scenario, art and craft. And the third one, Kasikata Ashram, started long back, 2020, to promote the culture, craft and art of Indian origin. So these three are the kind of entrepreneurial ashram created by Mind Group. And the fourth activity we have done and spearheading to prove that we are still alive. This initiative was started with these two young men. Blue shirt is no more, is the late Kishore Kant Tiwari. The second one is the Roshan Patel, both from Bihar. Started a small initiative in 2017 in Varanasi to feed the hungry people. We came together, urged upon to our students, created a full infrastructure of kitchen with roti making machine, etc. And now I'm happy to inform you that this roti bank is working in 7 states and 28 districts. So the good work multiply, and there is no doubt into that. So why I'm sharing these 4 experiences? That this is one of few initiative now I'm involved with. There are n number other initiative. So being the teacher, we will be lifelong teachers till our last breath. So skill development into our curriculum has given us, everybody, to think and learn how to improve upon learning to make the future leaders of the country. Thank you. This is my email ID. If at all we need to collaborate or to learn something from each other, then WhatsApp number is written down. What I feel, I have shared everything pertaining to skill. So let me stop sharing. That's all from my side. Thank you. And if at all anything is required,
Thank you, sir. One second, sir, please. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Once again, show your mail ID and WhatsApp number, sir.
okay, WhatsApp number is 94
Sir, 1 minute, sir. 94
15
9415
30
30.
14
Yes, sir.
62.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot, sir. So Sasi Bharti, you have raised your hand. Anything has to be asked, or it's by mistake?
No, sir. It was by mistake. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
सर व्हाट्सएप नंबर आने के बाद बता दीजिए ना
9415
9415
30
30
14
14
62.
62. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Suvendu has written in the chat box.
सर पीपीटी मेरा मेल आईडी से सर सेंड कर दीजिए ना सर, आपका जो आज मैंने दिया था पीपीटी.
आपने मेल आईडी भेजा है क्या चैट बॉक्स में?
हाँ सर,
WhatsApp
चैट
पे
बॉक्स में
भेजिए. ठीक है, भेज देंगे.
हाँ, थैंक यू सर.
Okay. So should I leave now? There is no question. Thank you, sir. TLC is there. Teaching learning, sir. हो गया. धन्यवाद. Thank you very much.
Thank you.